Hey guys, welcome to another recap of Project Runway. We are so close to the finale. This is the episode before the finale. So last week we found out that Emilio and Seth are in the finals. They're going to Bryant Park. But Mila and Jay, well, those two are going to have to battle it out with their top 3 looks. So Heidi tells them that they each get $9,000 and they're going to have 4 months to create their 10 look collections. So 3 months later, we fast forward, and it's time for my favorite part of every single season of Project Runway, when Tim goes to visit the designers at their home and meets their family, and it's just, you know, get a little sneak preview of the looks and everything. So he first goes to Vancouver, Washington to visit with Seth Aaron, and Seth Aaron is a busy little beaver. He's already got 15 looks done. Hello, you only need 10. Well, he's planning on taking 20 looks with him and editing when he gets there. That's crazy. Nobody has ever done that much, like in the history of Project Runway. So his collection has lots of zippers, lots of jackets. No surprises, though. It's everything that the judges have seen already. Even though it's wonderful, Tim warns Seth Aaron that he better take a risk. Otherwise, he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning. So basically, he's got to start over, and he's already used all, half his money already. So Tim gets to meet his family, his 2 kids and his wife, and this is the best part of the entire episode. Tim Gunn playing Pictionary in Seth Aaron's living room and jumping in the backyard on his trampoline. It was just amazing. Tim, I love you. All right, so Tim then travels to New York and visits with Emilio. First, he meets his 2 brothers, who are very proud of him. And Emilio spills his guts. He says, Tim, I was inspired by color, because there's a lot of graffiti around here. I even created my own fabric. So Tim has to drop a bomb on Emilio and say, look, this looks old and unsophisticated. And Emilio is like, Tim, you don't wear girls' clothing, so I don't trust you. You're not telling me the truth. I'll just do what I want to do. Bad attitude, Emilio. All right, so then Tim travels to Los Angeles, California to meet up with Mila. And first of all, he meets Mila's dog, which would be no other than a Dalmatian, because Mila is the queen of black and white. So this collection, she says, was inspired by shadows. And yeah, it's black and white, but hey, I threw in about 2 inches of aubergine. So Tim Gunn tells her it's kind of conservative, a little matronly. And she's like, are you joking? No, he's not. All right, so Tim ends up meeting her parents and her boyfriend, and Mila, she was always into the black and white. In fact, the whole house is black and white. Everybody's wearing black and white. It's a black and white world. For Mila, anyway. All right, San Francisco. Tim goes to visit Jay, and he was inspired by Japanese samurai. Some pieces look like student work, though, says Tim, and that makes Jay upset. It might be bordering on gimmicky. It was a little bit. But Tim goes to meet Jay's family, and they totally cooked for him. Philippine delicacies, and he met Jay's boyfriend as well. And the mom has very good advice. If you can dream it, you can do it. All right, so now we're fast forwarding even further to Fashion Week. Mila and Jay arrive in New York City, and they check in at the Westin Hotel, and they actually talk pretty much for the first time. So that was nice that they were able to build a bridge and get over it. So Seth Aaron and Emilio show up as well, and Tim pulls out the customary bottle of champagne for the celebratory champagne toast. He said, enjoy tonight, because it might be your last night, because tomorrow we go to the workroom. So the next day, Mila and Jay are pretty surprised that they only have 3 hours to get their 3 looks ready, because it's runway day. So Jay's looks have color. That makes Mila a little nervous, because she doesn't have very much color at all. So smartly, she asked the makeup artist to throw in a little bit of color in the makeup at least. So it's time for the runway. Michael Kors, Nina Garcia, and Heidi San's baby. All right, Mila. Her collection, her three-piece collection, she had one dress that was amazing. It looked like a shiny little fish. Then she had two coats in her collection, one over pants and one over a dress. Basically, it was black, white, and gray, but she did design some jewelry and some gloves. Now, Jay, he had the color, but it was a little freakish. He had a top and pants. The top was like silver. He had a short dress that was extremely tailored and lovely. Genius. And then he had these things, gaiters. They were like boots without the shoe part, made out of leather, of course. And then he had a jacket over pants, but the jacket was a little scary because it looked very overworked. There was a lot going on. He needed some editing in that collection, like ditching the jacket. So the judges have a little chat. Hard decision. Michael was wanting Jay to be in it. Heidi was wanting Mila. And Nina was so undecided. She was so goofy during this part. She was like, oh, I don't know. I'm the swing vote. All right, so Mila, honey, you're a little one note, and your collection's a little bit retro. I don't know. Jay, over-designed, overworked. Which one is more ready? Well, in the end, it turned it out to be Mila, but they had a few tips for her. They said one tip, but you decide. And it was really weird because they were speaking in like these one-word sentences. Hair, makeup, styling, young, congrats. And then she said, understood. So I guess they understood each other. Next week, it's the finale. We'll be pulling out the tiaras. Seth Aaron has 24 looks. OMG. Emilio, I've already seen this look, says Tim. And Mila, one word, rough. Till next week, much love.